Hello there. Welcome to another episode of Healthy Cooking on Mandy's Food Hub. Today we'll be baking pumpkin cake. This is a very delicious and highly nutritious cake, easy to make and rich in vitamins and other essential nutrients. Let's have a look at the ingredients that we'll be using. So our ingredients in details: I have my soft flour, you can use all-purpose flour, pumpkin puree, the recipes on my channel, melted butter, pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds, these are optional, walnuts and pistachio nuts. You can use almond nuts, or if you are not a fan of nuts, no problem. Baking soda here, baking powder, salt, cinnamon powder, my nutmeg, I have my eggs here, sugar, my raisins and vanilla extract. So I'll start off by pouring my sugar into the cake mixer or food processor, and then I'll add in the egg. It's always advisable to break one egg or crack one egg at a time and then transfer it into the food processor. This is done so that if there's a bad or rotten egg, it can easily be identified and discarded. But if you break everything together, you might not be able to identify rotten eggs. So I'll just add in my eggs and then let that whip or cream for 5 to 10 minutes. So my egg and sugar is mixing up or creaming up. I'm using this silicone spatula to just stir the sugar from the bottom, or if there's any sugar at the bottom of the bowl, it will just help dissolve it faster. So I'm going to do this until I'm sure that my sugar is completely dissolved and I don't feel any lumps of sugar in this before I add in the other ingredients. So this will be done for 5 minutes to 10 minutes, but I might not reach 10 minutes because it's not much. So you can test to see if the sugar is completely dissolved by just putting your hand here on the spatula. You test. There are no lumps of sugar in it, so this is dissolved, and then my butter is going in here. So you just give that a whisk, and then I'll put this aside. Add in my pumpkin puree. Once again, the recipe for this pumpkin puree is on my channel, so you don't have to go and buy pumpkin. If you have pumpkin at home, you can make your own puree. Just check my channel. So I'm adding in my vanilla extract. I'll use 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. So you just let this combine very well, and then the rest I'll use my hand, so I'll do it manually. But if you want, you can mix with your flour everything with the food processor, but I prefer to use my hand at this stage. Look at that, it looks so good, right? So I'm adding in my flour, but I'll add it bit by bit so that there wouldn't be lumps on it. So stir it and then add the flour in bits. You can always recreate this recipe. So I think my flour is done, or my spatula isn't that strong. So this is my cinnamon powder, my salt. You can actually mix all dry ingredients together, but I have chosen to put the leavening agents at the end of the process. So just give that a mix until everything combines perfectly. So this is my nutmeg going in there. As I said, you could mix all dry ingredients, that is the nutmeg, the leavening agents with the flour and salt, but I chose to add it at this stage. This is my raisins, my walnuts, and then pistachio nuts. Nuts are really good, and these are healthy nuts. They are rich in fiber, iron, and other essential nutrients. But if you don't have these nuts or you are not a fan, there's really no problem. So just give that a mix until everything combines well. So I'll transfer this into my cake pans, which I've greased with butter. So always remember to grease your cake pans, and I've preheated my oven too. It's very essential to preheat your oven before you start baking, so that the cake or the leavening agents react very well to the heat. So I'm just leveling it up, and then I'll top it more with raisins and my nuts, and then my sesame seeds and pumpkin seeds. So this is where the sesame seeds and pumpkin seeds come in. That's why I said it's optional, it's not a must, but I'm just using this more or less to garnish my cake. So that's my walnuts, pistachio nuts, raisins there, my sesame seeds are there too. Then I'll add in the pumpkin seeds. So you can always recreate this recipe. You can choose to add chocolate to it if that's what you want. So I'll bake this. Afterwards, I'll bake this for 45 minutes to 1 hour under medium heat. If your oven has a regulator or temperature calibration, then it should be 170 degrees Celsius. So after 1 hour 10 minutes and my cake is ready, but to be sure if it's ready, use a toothpick, dip the toothpick in the cake. If you don't find any traces of dough on the toothpick, it means that your cake is properly baked. So my pumpkin cake is here, looking so good, and it even tastes much better. Just to show you how the cake turned out. Trust me, this is a very healthy cake. It's good for diabetic patients and even the Weight Watchers. Do not be afraid. Pumpkin cake is very good for Weight Watchers. I hope you try this healthy recipe and recommend to your family and friends. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications. Thank you for watching. See you soon.